10 News begins with breaking news.
It's a very painful day in our city.
I hear one of the young girls say he's got a gun, he's got a gun.
This was an act of terror, and a particularly cowardly act of terror.
At that point I turn around, but around 30 seconds to a minute after that, I start hearing gunshots.
Our spirit will never be moved by an act of violence, an act meant to intimidate us.
Terror in New York City. A driver plows into a crowd just blocks from the 9/11 memorial, killing at least 8 people and injuring at least 15 others.
As you heard there, New York Mayor Bill de Blasio. The attack is being called an act of terror, and here's what we know at this hour. As we said earlier, at least 8 people are dead, 15 more are injured. Their injuries are serious but not life-threatening. The driver has been identified as Saifullo Saipov. He's from Uzbekistan, but he came to the U.S. in 2010 on a diversity visa.
Saipov hit a school bus, then got out of the Home Depot rental truck yelling Allahu Akbar and waving either a paintball or a pellet gun, and officers shot him. He is in the hospital, expected to survive. So we may learn more about a motive. In the past hour, we have learned that Saipov is out of surgery.
A command post is now set up at the Home Depot, where he is believed to have rented a truck that he used in the attack. And President Trump most recently tweeting this message saying, quote, "My thoughts and condolences and prayers to the victims and families of the New York City terrorist attack. God and your country are with you."
Brian Schlonsky is in the 10 News Live Center now with the new details about a discovery made near the driver's truck. Brian?
Yeah, Kimberly and Steve, a big discovery that may give us some information on why this attack was carried out. You see, these are the live pictures here outside of that truck. Crime scene tape up right now. Investigators pouring through that. Before we get to what they found, I want to show you here on the map exactly where it happened. Right here is where the incident took place, and you see it's just blocks away from One World Trade Center. So we mentioned what was found near that truck. Here in an article from the New York Times, they say 2 law enforcement officials said that investigators discovered handwritten notes in Arabic near the truck that indicated allegiance to ISIS. We are now starting to learn more about this suspect's background as well. This is a reporter in the Paterson, New Jersey area who says that right now police are outside of the suspect's home where he most recently lived with his wife and 3 children. So now we know that this person had a family. I want to take you to some video so you can see how this all transpired this afternoon. This is cell phone video of that suspect minutes after the attack, exiting that car. Some witnesses said that they saw him running towards children, carrying those 2 fake guns. You mentioned right now he is in the hospital in police custody. So ABC News was reporting that this suspect had an ID he was carrying from Tampa, Florida, but he has also lived in Ohio and then most recently there in New Jersey with his family. Right now, investigators are looking through his electronic devices, trying to find more information about why this happened, but those notes will shed a lot of light, and investigators here outside of his home as well, hoping to find more evidence. Guys.
All right, Brian, thank you. The attack happened while people were just out walking along the street, just like families will be doing tonight for Halloween, and many of the celebrations here in San Diego are drawing huge crowds.
10 News anchor Vanessa Van Hefty is live in downtown Encinitas, where security is on people's minds tonight. Vanessa?
Yeah, Kimberly, it sure is. This is a huge event in Encinitas. They're expecting around 5,000 trick-or-treaters, and you can see it's in full swing. This kicked off around 5 o'clock here just off the 101. We're at the Realization Fellowship Center. It plays a huge role in this fest. Monks here grow all the pumpkins that you see here. They carve them themselves. But parents that we spoke with here tonight say they are aware of the tragedy in New York, and safety is definitely top of mind.
It is slightly on my mind, but I feel like it's important for us to go about our business and you know, be the U.S. that we are and do our normal traditions and be mindful, but don't let terror put us in a position that we're afraid to do what we normally do.
And the center here has 12 security guards on site, just keeping an eye on things. They've been doing this since 1982. They actually moved this event outside after 9/11. We also checked in with police. They say they are beefing up patrols for Halloween as well, asking everyone to be vigilant tonight. Reporting live in Encinitas, Vanessa Van Hefty, 10 News.
Vanessa, thank you. And you can get breaking news alerts like this even when we're off the air. All you have to do is just download our free 10 News app.
Startling new details about the population portion of Mission Valley. The number of homeless there has nearly doubled in the past year.
Our 10 News reporter Travis Rice has how one group is tracking them and the solutions that may be years out.
It runs right through Mission Valley. It's not the trolley, but the homeless crisis.
97.3% of the trash we documented was sourced to homelessness.
This river is one of Rob Hutzel's favorite places. However, he'll be the first to tell you it's going through a skid.
The people we find down here, by and large, do not want to be seen.
Hutzel's in charge of an effort mapping where the transients are and even their garbage.
So this one has the equivalent of 20 bags of trash.
Last October, the San Diego River Park Foundation counted 56 homeless camps along the river in Mission Valley. Compare that to this October, where they tallied 101.
Yeah, the numbers really were surprising. And usually we have 50, 60 encampments, and we've been doing this for many, many years. And so this year's kind of 80% increase is a lot.
Hutzel has his own theory for where the spike is from.
And of course, we don't really know, but the reality is we notice there's a lot of actions going on in different parts of the city.
The San Diego River Trail is open 24 hours a day. Meanwhile, in Orange County, law enforcement has established curfews for river walking trails in an effort to combat a similar homeless issue.
Councilman Scott Sherman's office says the city already runs sweeps through the riverbed, and they are looking at curfews, but add those will have to wait until the area is more developed.
But frankly, they get nervous when they walk down here and they see a fire or something along the river.
Hutzel feels for those who live above the homeless encampments and worries there will be more neighborhoods in this situation if they don't handle this right.
You got to make sure that there are places for everyone to go before you clamp down on them. Just to clamp down on them, we'll send them somewhere else unless they get help.
In Mission Valley, Travis Rice, 10 News.
The police department made more than 270 arrests for homeless-related crimes in San Diego last month.
A developing story now. The family of a mother-to-be killed on in a Mother's Day crash confronted the man accused of causing her death today. Jessica Fotheringham's mother was in court while prosecutors laid out the evidence against Andrew Milonis. Police say that he drove drunk on San Vicente Road in Ramona back in May, rear-ended Fotheringham's car, ditched his SUV, then got a lift to take him to another bar. Milonis faces charges including murder and 40 years to life in prison if convicted.
And breaking news now, a parent is holding a 70-year-old teacher hostage at an elementary school. The parent allegedly assaulted a staff member at Castleview Elementary School in Riverside and locked himself inside a classroom with the teacher. Students and staff were evacuated. A man who says he is the suspect's uncle says he doesn't think the man is armed or dangerous. Hostage negotiators are now at the school trying to convince the man to come out.
A health alert now. The Marine Corps Depot in San Diego is dealing with a major E. coli outbreak. More than 300 Marines in training have gotten sick over the past week. This is at the training station next to Lindbergh Field. Some Marines at Camp Pendleton, they're also dealing with the illness. County health officials tell 10 News it has not spread off the base, and military officials are taking steps to make sure it stays that way. Some of those steps include isolating the recruits who are sick, increasing hygiene requirements, and inspecting common areas such as the barracks and cafeterias.
Another person has died from hepatitis A. That brings the total number of deaths in San Diego County to 20. There have been more than 530 cases during the outbreak, leading to more than 350 hospitalizations. The county renewed its state of emergency declaration last week.
Qualcomm is taking a big financial hit today after it was reported Apple will stop using its technology. The companies are currently involved in a legal battle over licensing agreements. Apple says Qualcomm stopped providing software to test those iPhone chips, and now Apple may be dropping those chips altogether. The news sent Qualcomm stock tumbling nearly 8% today.
And we have an update now to a Team 10 investigation. The man accused of stealing from a charity that helps children of wounded and fallen soldiers is being charged with fraud. According to court documents, Charles Lamb took money orders made out to a Murrieta-based charity called Brat Pack 11 and put his name on them. Lamb would then go to an ATM and deposit the money in his account. He's accused of stealing nearly $2,000.
New developments. The City Council is moving forward with replacing dozens of parking spots in Hillcrest with bike lanes. That project will get rid of 29 spaces between 6th and Vermont on University. Those are highlighted right there in red. The city will try to make up for that by adding about 48 new spots on residential side streets. Those are highlighted there in yellow. And some neighbors, they're not happy with this decision.
It might make it better for people who come from outside the neighborhood, but it'll make it worse for people who live in the neighborhood.
Well, the city could lose up to $50,000 a year once the meters are removed. It's unclear if drivers would have to pay to park in the new spots.